Walt seemed to be at the height of his potential when he made a potentially reckless decision. And that decision was to make a full feature-length animated movie, which would turn out to be Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It was a success, and that kicked off the golden era of Walt Disney animated movies, which we're going to be ranking right now. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Diz TV. If this is your first time here, welcome home. We are so glad to have you. And I'm specifically looking at Walt Disney animated movies, the golden era. If you guys don't know, the Disney movie era is split up into currently 7 different eras, with the golden era being the first and the revival era being the one we are still in to this day. Let's dive in from ranking the worst of the golden era to the best. Hope you guys are ready, because I am. Let's start this off. Coming in at number 5 is Fantasia. This movie, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I gave it a 7 out of 10 with a fun factor of a C-. And here's the reason why. It's an enjoyable movie. It's nothing extremely intense or shocking. It is very different compared to the rest of the golden era movies because of the fact that this is a compilation of music, which actually we see a lot more in the wartime era, but I'll get to that in a separate video. Fantasia is enjoyable. The music is great. The animation is beautiful. Hand-drawn animation is just spectacular. 2 of my favorites are The Night on Bald Mountain, which of course has Chernabog in it, and of course Sorcerer Mickey. Those are the 2 most iconic parts of this movie, but there are a lot more scenes and sequences in this one. While it's not my personal favorite of any of the Disney movies, I find it quite enjoyable, and while I may not go to this as often as I would others, I think when I sit down to watch it, it's a fun, enjoyable time, and something that honestly can be quite relaxing. The downside to this movie is that it is a complete difference compared to the rest of the golden era movies, which follow a narrative, they follow a story from beginning to end. This one is broken up into different sections and has a story in those sections, and they sometimes don't feel 100% complete, and you don't get a fulfilling end point. Coming in at number 4 is Dumbo. This one I gave a 7.4 out of 10 with a fun factor of a B. This movie is super duper cute. It has the cutest Disney character ever with Dumbo. Although he does not speak in the movie, which does create some problems in a sense, but overall this movie is quite enjoyable. It is a lot of fun, and it is, I think, one of the more harsher Disney movies when you really look at it. It deals a lot with just the cruel nature of the circus, but at the same time, like, separating a mother from her child, and that's just gut-wrenching. The songs in it are pretty good. Of course, Baby Mine is iconic. It's a great song, the animation is spectacular, and the story, honestly, is quite good. When comparing this movie to the rest of the Walt Disney animated catalog, as well as, of course, the golden era, this one shines, but it's not a bright star. It's an enjoyable movie, but again, similar to Fantasia, it's not one I'd go back to over and over again. It's something once in a while I will enjoy. Overall, it's just has not lived up to some of the great animated movies we've had over the last 100 years. Coming in at number 3 is Bambi. I also gave this movie a 7.4 out of 10 with a fun factor of a B, and I enjoy this movie. I think it's adorable, it's cute, and at the same time, the animation is just awesome. If you can't tell, I love 2D, hand-drawn animation. There's just something about it that adds just a personal touch to the movie. The big thing for me really with this movie is its story is really, really good. It's touching, it's heartbreaking. It is so heartbreaking when Bambi loses his mother, If you have not seen the movie and you are crying, spoiler alert, that's your own fault. You clicked onto this. Anyways, this movie is enjoyable from beginning to end with some great characters. The reason why I like this one over Dumbo, even though I gave them the same, literally the exact same rating, a 7.4 with a B, is because I just really like the characters a lot more. Bambi is a great character. Thumper is one of those characters that I find a lot of joy in, and at the same time, this movie has a lot of just fun moments in it. It can get intense at times, but ultimately it has a very good story with a decent amount of humor in it. Before we get into number 1 and number 2, let me know in the comments down below, what is your ranking of the golden age of Disney movies? I would love to hear it in the comments down below. Alright, let's get into number 2. Number 2 is Pinocchio. This one I gave an 8.1 out of 10 with a fun factor of a B. What can I say about this movie? It's charming, the characters are great, the songs are memorable, and the animation is beautiful, and the story just is a lot of fun. It's a story about learning and growing up, and that's something that is still palpable and still something we can take to this day. Like, there's still things that we, as people grow up, as kids grow up, is still stuff they need to look out for. They need to look out for, bad influences in their life and not to be gullible and things of that sort. So there is a great story and message in that. I think that's amazing. But to me, the standout is Jiminy Cricket. I love Jiminy Cricket. He's a great character. The biggest thing with this movie is When You Wish Upon a Star. When I hear that song, there's just something in me that turns automatically into a kid. And I'll be honest, I get emotional hearing that song. I think back of all the awesome memories I have either sitting on the couch watching a Disney movie with my family, or it's visiting the parks and riding a ride, or seeing the castle, or whatever else that might be. There is emotion and nostalgia attached to When You Wish Upon a Star. There's something about that song that resonates with people. When you wish upon a star, your dreams will come true. There's just something about that just makes you say, all right, I'm gonna wish. I'm gonna do my best. It's probably the best thing about the movie. I enjoy the movie. I think it's great. I think everybody should watch it. It's kind of underrated. Highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. And coming in at number 1 is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I gave this an 8.6 out of 10 with a fun factor of a B. I may rate this higher than some other people do, but I really like this movie. I think it is enjoyable. There's something about this movie, to me, that is just timeless. Granted, I could very well be biased because I'm a huge Disney history fan, and so what this movie means to Disney as a company is huge, but at the same time, the story is great, the dwarves are awesome, the songs are catchy and memorable, the villain is good, it sets the standard for what other Disney villains will become in the future. But there's something in this movie for the whole family to enjoy. And on top of that, the 2D animation is great. And at the same time, if you look at this movie was made in 1937, okay? So 1937 was the start of the Disney Golden Era. And of course, Pinocchio came out in 1940, and then the other movies followed after suit. All the way till, I believe, 1943 is when Fantasia came out. But this was 6 years prior to Fantasia coming out. And the animation, I'd say, still holds up. So overall, to me, I think Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is the best golden era Disney movie. I highly enjoy it. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Go watch it. It's on Disney Plus. And of course, if you haven't seen any of these movies and now you are intrigued about watching them, they're all available on Disney Plus currently. Other than that, that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know again in the comments down below, what is your ranking of these 5 movies? What's your favorite? And of course, in case you are wondering, we are going to be going through every single era of the Disney movies, ranking them all in the near future over the next several months. So be on the lookout for more in the future. The next era is wartime, but without further ado, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give this a big thumbs up, as it helps out the channel. And if you're new around here, again, a special welcome to you. I'm so glad you're here. If you enjoyed this video, maybe you should consider subscribing for more videos on Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, the Perks, and so much more. Check out the links down below, as we have our Spotify account as well as our TikTok down below. So check those out if you have the time. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a magical day. Goodbye.